Good morning, everyone. It's CJ, and I'm going to show you a little technique that I use when I'm just in the mood to do some scribble painting. And I'll also show you something I do in regard to keeping my brush fairly clean, my water fairly clean. So let's go ahead and get started. The examples you see here in front of you are basically the first time I was trying to videotape, and my little dog went absolutely crazy because of the mail carrier. So anyway, if she does it this time, I'm just going to keep right on going and hope that you can hear me over her barking. So let me set this aside and I'll explain. In front of me I have 3 pieces of paper, and they're a little bit on the heavier side. They're not real thin like your copier paper or your computer paper. I've got some paint setting there. I have my book here that I basically just use to wipe things off with. And I have my bucket of water, and notice it's fairly clean. Okay, and then I've got a old paper towel here. Excuse me. And then I just have a brush here. It's, I'd say probably 3/4 inch. Alright, now I have my paper set up like so, and you could set yours any way that's comfortable for you. If I get enough room here. Room is always a problem for me. Never enough room. Okay, today I'm going to be using these Delusion paints. And what I normally do is I pick, 3 or 4 colors. And you do have to be careful when you use more than 2 together, because you can come up with a brown effect. So just be fair warned. On these Delusion paints, before I get ready to use them, I normally shake them pretty good. I unscrew the lid, but I don't take the lid off. And I'll let it set for a few minutes, and then I'll take the lid off. And I'm going to paint from the lid because I'm not going to use very much paint. So I'm going to set that aside. Okay. Now, when I'm talking about different products, I don't have any type of connection to them. I'm just telling you what it is that I'm using. Okay, now with my orange. Normally when you're doing painting and you want to load up your brush, I normally just put it in there so that paint only goes roughly halfway up there. If it goes any higher than that, that's when you're going to have paint that ends up going up into your canal here, and it'll end up drying and it's real hard to get out. So anyway, I'll set this aside, and this is just a little quick exercise that I like to do when I'm kind of bored and I just want some different kind of backgrounds to play with. So I'm going to start right here on this first one just by doing some circles, just like so. I'm just doing some circles and keeping it light, just like so. And I'm going to go to my second paper. And then on this one, I'm going to do some streaks. Loading up my paintbrush and just doing streaks, just like this. Just some streaks. And it does not have to fill the page. Just go with it. Have fun with it. Okay. And then my last paper, and I'm not going to worry about it getting wet on the other side, is I'm just going to brush off, brush off, brush off, brush off, brush off, because what I want to do at this point is I want to change colors, but I don't want to dirty up my water too much. I want to try to get as much paint off of my bristles as I can, keeping it in a long stroking motion like this, with the way the brushes are, the bristles are put in there. Okay. At this point, I will go over to the water, and sometimes in my water you'll see bubbles, but And not always. But the water can either have air in it from well water, or in this case, a lot of times I will put the water with a little bit of dish soap. Okay, now what I do is I'm just going to touch this to the water. I'm not shaking it out or doing anything in there like that. Then I'm going to take it over to my book, and I'm going to go off there as much as I can, just like so. No sense wasting any of that good paint, that good pigment. Okay, now I can look at my brush, and I don't see gobs and gobs of paint on there. Okay. Alright, now at this point, I'll go over to the water, like so, and I'm just going to rub it, and then rub it here. And basically on my old paper towel, this paper towel has been around for probably 3 or 4 months, I'll just wipe off any kind of extra, hit the water again. And your water should not get overly filled with color. Okay, there we go. See, I've got just a hint of color in there. Alright, I'm putting the cap back on the orange. And I'm going to set that aside. And we'll go for a little bit of red. And like I said, I'm just going to use the cap, so here's the cap of red. And now I'm going to load up my brush again. Just like so. And I want to go ahead and do some more circles, just like with the other one. Circles, circles, circles. And just fill it with circles. Circles, circles. Try and give it as many circles as possible. And then I'm going to take that same paint and do some more streaks. Streaks. And just let it kind of come together. And then at this point, like the first time, I'm going to come in and brush off as much paint as I can. Going in different directions, trying to pick up, or actually pull out, as much of the pigment as possible. Okay, and then again, I'm going to go back over to the book. And I want to brush off as much as the red as I can. Just like so. Until I don't see a lot of red in there. And then I take it to the water. And wipe the brush. And see this paper towel here? Once it really gets saturated with paint, I'll take and you can actually sew these and make them into different things. Okay. Good brush. Look at the amount of color in the water. Okay, now what I'm going to do is I'm going to work on a couple other colors, and I'll put that part into a little bit faster speed so you don't have to watch the whole process again. But then you get to see how the final papers look when you're done, plus the color of the water. So here we go.